there, future millionaires! Welcome back to the channel. It's so good to have you here with me again. I genuinely hope you're having an absolutely amazing day, no matter where you are watching from around this incredible world of ours. Today, we're diving into XRP, and wow, do we have some interesting action to talk about. Let me pull up that one-day chart for you. Right now, we're sitting pretty at around $2.50. And here's what's exciting. XRP is up a solid 4.67% as I'm recording this video. Now, I know it might look like it's just cruising sideways at that $2.50 mark, but don't let that fool you. This crypto had a really strong day, and there's definitely some momentum building here that we need to discuss. All right. Let's check out what's happening with the big players right now. Bitcoin just climbed back above $111,000. Pretty impressive, right? Though it's only showing a modest 1.1% gain today. Meanwhile, Ethereum is sitting at $3,941, doing a bit better with a 2.57% bump. Now here's something really fascinating that I keep noticing. Every single time we see crypto bouncing back, XRP consistently outperforms both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Sure, it might only be by a small margin, but consistent outperformance is exactly what we want to see. And you know what? I have a strong feeling about what's coming next in this bull run. All that institutional money that everyone expects to pour into Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think a huge chunk of it is actually going to flow straight into XRP instead. Think about this for a second. And this is crucial psychology here. If you're a regular retail investor like most of us, what sounds more appealing? Buying a tiny fraction of one Bitcoin, or actually owning multiple whole XRP coins? It's basic human nature. We all want to be whole coiners, right? There's something psychologically satisfying about owning complete units rather than just pieces of something. That mental factor could be absolutely huge for XRP's adoption. Is Ripple about to overtake Ethereum? There are more XRP Treasury. Now, this is where things get really interesting, and I think this might surprise you more than you'd expect. So I came across this fascinating article that breaks down treasury companies, and the numbers here are pretty eye-opening. According to their research, Ethereum currently has 69 companies holding it in their treasuries, while XRP only has 11. Now, before you think, oh no, that sounds bad for XRP, hold on, because this is actually where the huge opportunity lies. But here's the thing. I genuinely believe we're about to see a massive shift, and it could happen faster than most people expect. Right now, we're incredibly early in the XRP Treasury game. I mean, think about it. This whole trend literally just kicked off recently. We're basically watching the very beginning of what could be a huge movement. And you know what gets me excited? I can already see the momentum starting to build. More and more companies are going to start adding XRP to their treasuries. It's not a matter of if, it's when. Now, I'll be completely honest with you. Ethereum is absolutely dominating the treasury space right now. No question about it. But remember, every giant trend starts somewhere, and early adopters are usually the ones who see the biggest rewards. This is definitely one of those watch this space moments. I have a feeling we're going to look back at these numbers in 6 months or a year and be amazed at how much things have changed. What do you think? Are we about to witness XRP's treasury breakthrough? Now, here's something that could absolutely blow your mind. What do you think is going to happen when XRP actually flips Ethereum's market cap during this bull run? Because honestly, it's looking more and more possible every day. And speaking of mind-blowing predictions, we need to talk about BlackRock's latest XRP forecast. Plus, there's this wild time traveler prediction that's been making waves. And some people are saying it might actually be legit. Let me break all of this down for you. Okay, let me clarify something important here. We're not talking about BlackRock as a company making this prediction. We're specifically talking about Robbie Mitchnick, who's BlackRock's head of digital assets. Big difference, and it's crucial we get that right. Now, here's what's fascinating about the crypto world. It absolutely loves rediscovering old gems. You know how it works. Someone digs up an old research paper or video, and suddenly it's spreading like wildfire as this brand new revelation. Well, that's exactly what happened this week. Crypto commentator Time Traveler shared a resurfaced video on X, and it completely exploded across social media. Why? Because it showed Robbie Mitchnick placing XRP's high-end price estimate at $32.91. And here's the kicker. That's 100% accurate. He absolutely did say that. But wait, it gets even crazier. He also predicted that by 2030, XRP could be trading above $4,000. Now, between you and me, I could honestly see that happening way before 2030. And here's why. Mitchnick was specifically talking about XRP being used for cross-border payments. But imagine when you add tokenization into the mix, the price potential becomes absolutely astronomical. Think about this. When he made these predictions, we weren't even discussing tokenized assets yet. That whole market didn't really exist. But the underlying value he was calculating, that was spot on. Even back then, he pegged XRP's real value at around $32.91. Here's my honest take. XRP is massively undervalued right now. I mean, seriously undervalued. We should have seen way more price action after the Ripple versus SEC case wrapped up. There's absolutely zero reason why XRP should be trading under $10 right now. Zero. That's exactly why I believe we have some serious catching up to do with XRP's price. Just look around. The acquisitions are happening. Incredible projects are building on the XRP ledger, and literally every day we're getting bullish news about XRP. Every single day. Yet here we are, watching the price just sit there. And honestly, that's the most frustrating part about holding XRP. You see all this amazing progress, all this adoption, all this positive momentum, and the price barely budges. But here's what I know for certain. This rocket is eventually going to take off. It's not a matter of if, it's simply a matter of when. And when it does, hold on to your hats because it's going to be one wild ride. Okay, so here's something wild. This October has been absolutely brutal for crypto. We're talking about the worst October performance we've seen in years. The only time it was worse? Way back in 2014 when we saw a devastating 13% drop. But here's the thing about terrible Octobers in crypto, and this might sound crazy. They usually set us up for something absolutely incredible. What do we call it? Moonvember. History has a funny way of repeating itself in this space, and bad Octobers often mean we're about to see some serious fireworks in November. Now, what do we actually need to make this happen? First things first, we desperately need the government to get back to business so the SEC can finally approve those XRP spot ETFs. That's going to be our major short-term catalyst, and honestly, it can't come soon enough. But that's not all we're waiting for. When you combine ETF approval with ISO implementation and regulatory clarity, that's when things get really exciting. Speaking of clarity, and this is crucial, we absolutely need regulatory clarity finalized by the end of 2025. Why is this so important? Because once we get that clarity, it's not just XRP that's going to benefit. We're talking about massive price appreciation across all utility-driven cryptocurrencies. The pieces are all falling into place, folks. We just need these final dominoes to tip, and then, well, let's just say November could be very, very interesting. Mnemonics to XRP holders. The incoming wave is inevitable. Look, I get it. This whole bull run feels like it's been dragging on forever, right? We've all been sitting here waiting and waiting for XRP to finally explode. And honestly, the anticipation is killing us. But here's what we all know deep down. It's absolutely coming. The question isn't if, it's simply when. And trust me, everyone and their brother is trying to call the exact timing. This week's the week! Next week's definitely going to be it. Sound familiar? But check this out, and this is where things get really interesting. Someone did some incredible analysis comparing XRP's 2017 pattern to what we're seeing in 2025. And guys, they look practically identical. Both cycles showed the exact same thing, a brutal 58 to 70% crash, followed by an absolutely explosive move upward. And here's the kicker, we just lived through that crash. We've done our time in crypto purgatory, and now we're sitting right at the launch pad, waiting for that explosive move. If history is any guide, and in crypto, patterns tend to repeat more often than you'd think, then according to the 2017 playbook, this breakout could literally start at any moment. I mean, any moment. We could wake up tomorrow and XRP could be off to the races. The setup is there, the pattern is playing out perfectly, and all the pieces are in position. Are you ready for liftoff? And you know what? It's going to happen at the most unexpected moment possible. Picture this. We'll all be sitting here, scrolling through charts, stressing about whether XRP will hit $3 tomorrow or drop back down, wondering if we're crazy for holding, and then bam! You'll wake up one random Tuesday morning, check your phone, and XRP will be absolutely skyrocketing. That's just how this cryptocurrency rolls. One day it's quiet, the next day it's making millionaires. The speed is absolutely mind-blowing when it finally decides to move. But speaking of big moves, Ripple just dropped some absolutely massive news that has me genuinely excited. Check this out. They just announced Ripple Prime. And this is huge, guys. Their acquisition of Hidden Road is now officially complete, which means Ripple just became the very first crypto company to own and operate a global multi-asset prime broker. Let me put this in perspective for you. They're bringing institutional-grade digital asset services to massive customers at scale. We're talking about the kind of infrastructure that traditional finance has been waiting for. This isn't just another partnership announcement. This is Ripple positioning themselves as the bridge between crypto and Wall Street. This is exactly the kind of foundational move that sets the stage for those explosive price movements we were just talking about.
I absolutely love that they went with the name Ripple Prime. It just sounds powerful and professional, doesn't it? There's something about that branding that screams institutional credibility. But here's what gets me really excited about this. It's not just about the cool name. This move has massive implications for the derivatives market, and that's where things get really interesting for XRP holders like us. That's a massive, massive market, and that could really get the price of XRP moving. Okay, I came across this post that literally made me smile, and I just had to share it with you guys because it's such a perfect analogy. Someone compared Ripple Prime to Amazon Prime, but for banks and financial institutions. And honestly, it's brilliant. Think about what Amazon Prime does for us regular consumers. We get lightning-fast 2-day delivery, right? Well, here's the kicker. XRP offers 2-second delivery for financial transactions. 2 days versus 2 seconds. Let that sink in for a moment. We're talking about revolutionizing the speed of global finance the same way Amazon revolutionized shopping and delivery. I absolutely love this comparison because it makes it so easy to understand what Ripple is really doing here. They're not just building another crypto service, they're creating the Amazon Prime of global banking. That's the kind of game-changing infrastructure that gets institutions really excited. But honestly, I still think Ripple is going to become way bigger than Amazon ever was. I know that sounds crazy, but just wait and see. And speaking of big moves, Brad Garlinghouse just dropped this absolutely incredible statement that I think everyone needs to hear. He said, "With today's completion of the Hidden Road acquisition, now known as Ripple Prime, we've officially closed 5 major acquisitions in just 2 years." Let me break down this acquisition spree for you because it's absolutely mind-blowing. Treasury just last week, Rail back in August, Standard Custody in 2024, and Medico in 2023. Brad then said something that gave me chills. As we continue building solutions for an internet of value, I'm reminding everyone that XRP sits at the center of everything Ripple does. Lock in. Did you catch that? Lock in. I love how direct he's being here. But here's what really got my attention. Brad is making sure nobody forgets that XRP isn't just some side project. It's literally the beating heart of everything Ripple is building. Every acquisition, every partnership, every major move they make, it all comes back to XRP. That's the kind of CEO confidence that gets me fired up about our investment. And like I mentioned earlier, this ties directly into that massive derivatives market we were talking about. Actually, Smoke dropped an incredible breakdown earlier today that really puts this into perspective. He pointed out that with Ripple plus Hidden Road, we're looking at RLUSD being fully integrated into the derivatives market. Now, when I say derivatives market, we're not talking about millions or even billions here. We're talking about quadrillions of dollars, with a Q. That's an almost incomprehensible amount of money flowing through these markets every single day. And here's the beautiful part that has me absolutely excited. All of this infrastructure, all of these quadrillions of dollars in potential volume, it's all coming to the XRP ledger. Think about what that means for a second. The XRP ledger is about to become the backbone for some of the largest financial markets in the world. That's not just bullish, that's revolutionary. I don't think people truly grasp just how massive this really is. Like, we're witnessing history in the making here, and most folks are completely sleeping on it. Monica Long from Ripple dropped this absolute gem of a statement that honestly gave me goosebumps. She said, "The opportunities now available to Ripple Prime are absolutely expansive. RLUSD is already being used as collateral for multiple Prime brokerage products, and Ripple Prime is exploring a variety of ways to utilize XRP. The future ahead is mighty bright." Did you catch that last part? The future ahead is mighty bright. When executives at this level start talking like that, you know something big is brewing. But here's what really gets me fired up. They're making it crystal clear that XRP isn't being left out of this equation. They're actively looking for ways to integrate XRP into everything they're building. And you know what that means for us as XRP holders? We're positioned to benefit massively from this entire ecosystem they're creating. When institutions start flowing quadrillions through XRP-powered infrastructure, that's when we see life-changing wealth creation. This isn't just hopium talking. This is Ripple's own executives telling us exactly what's coming. Why XRP price holding above $2.30 could ignite the next major rally.
All right, so here's what the technical analysts are saying right now, and it's actually pretty encouraging. They're pointing out that XRP is holding really strong support at that $2.30 level, even while we're going through this consolidation phase. And here's the key thing to watch. If we can break above what they call the value area high, that would basically confirm we're in a bullish continuation pattern. Now, if that happens, they're looking at some pretty exciting upside targets. We're talking about $3.55 and $3.75. But of course, that's contingent on getting solid volume confirmation to back up the move. Right now, we're sitting comfortably at $2.50, so we're already above that support level, which is great news. The big question is, can we keep this momentum going and push even higher from here? But here's something I've noticed, and maybe you've picked up on this too. These bullish technical analysis articles always seem to pop up right when XRP starts making upward moves. It's like clockwork. Not complaining though. I'll take all the positive coverage we can get.
All right, here's some interesting news that's been making waves. Crypto giants are actually funding President Trump's new White House Ballroom project. We're talking about some major players here. Ripple, Tether, Coinbase, and even the Winklevoss twins have all stepped up as donors. And they're not alone. The donor list reads like a who's who of tech. Apple, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, and Planeter are all contributing too. Now, we don't know exactly how much each company is putting in, but here are the details we do know. This new ballroom is designed to hold 999 people. It's not using any taxpayer money, and the estimated cost is around $300 million. Now, I've been seeing a lot of heated discussion about this online. Some people are claiming, incorrectly, that taxpayer money is being used, and others are saying crypto companies are basically buying access to the president. But here's my take on it, and I want to be completely honest with you. We've seen presidents come and go throughout history, and honestly, many of them have done far worse things than accepting private donations for construction projects. You could literally pick apart any president in US history if you wanted to. The way I see it, maybe the crypto industry just wants to give back to Trump. Maybe they're genuinely grateful for his support. And you know what? I'm not here to judge whether that's good or bad. Here's what I do care about. If crypto companies getting involved means they're pushing cryptocurrency forward in the United States and driving innovation, then I'm absolutely all for it. Think about it. We just endured 4 long years of the previous administration holding back innovation and actively cracking down on crypto. And look what happened to your investment portfolio once we got a pro-crypto administration in office. The difference has been night and day. Here's my prediction. Any politician who isn't pro-crypto going forward is going to struggle big time in future elections. The crypto voting bloc is real, and it's powerful. I'm definitely keeping a close eye on how these midterm elections play out next year. That's going to tell us a lot about where American politics and crypto are heading together. But, like I mentioned at the start of this video, XRP is honestly looking incredibly strong right now. I'm really hoping we can maintain this momentum through the weekend because next week could be absolutely massive. We've got those rate cuts coming, which could be seriously bullish for the entire crypto market. That kind of news has the potential to really get things moving in a big way. What I'm really hoping to see is XRP pushing back toward that $3 level. If we can hit that mark, it would give us the confirmation we need that this upward trend is here to stay. Now, I always have to remind you guys, We're still following Bitcoin's lead here. So if Bitcoin takes a dive, unfortunately, everything else is probably going down with it. That's just how this market works right now. So here's what I'm hoping for. No more tariff drama, no more global conflicts creating uncertainty, and finally, we get to see crypto just breathe and do what it does best. I'm really optimistic that we can keep everything in the green throughout this weekend. Until all the big moves happen, here's what I need from you. Stay patient, stay positive, and let's build this wealth together. We're in this as a community, and I genuinely believe our time is coming. All right, everyone, that's a wrap on today's video. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching and being part of this incredible journey. Your support means the world to me, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Until then, keep holding strong.